my error. Okay, guess what? We're halfway done and I just remembered to record it. Oops. I'll have to start all over again. Welcome everybody. No, I'm only kidding. Um, so um, we record every single webinar and then we take the recording and we convert it. We take the audio file and we convert it into a text file. And then we take the text and we use that text as a manuscript for a book. So every single webinar we do could be converted to a book. So basically, that's what we're doing now. And we're publishing ebooks. And then after that, if we so choose, we're gonna publish the paperback. So the secret is the Kindle Direct Publishing. And there's a lot of people on that and cranking out their books because it's kind of an achievement to say that you're an author of a book, even if it's just one chapter. Okay, so you want to hear about my best-selling books? Here we go. So the title is Buy My Best-Selling Books, but if you go to our website, you can actually download it for free. But these are the books that I only wrote one chapter in. And the day that the book was published, it was released on Amazon, it hit the bestseller list. So I have two books and I'm a best-selling author of two books. I didn't write the entire book. I only wrote one chapter in the book. Okay, so that's the idea that you can do yourself. And then Martin and I worked on this, my very popular rail book. And if you're located in Hawaii, we have this rail project that's run by the city that is just out of hand and there's too many cost overruns. So the title is Everything the City Wants You to Know About the Rail. And that's the title. And if you open it up, it's all blank pages because the idea is the city wants to be secretive and not tell you really what's going on. And I just did that as, as a novelty, but it worked. It got me a lot of publicity. And I found out because there's blank pages, people are using it for a notebook or writing their shopping list down or whatever. So after the first edition, the initial book was kind of skinny. And then when I realized people were using it as a workbook, I made a second edition and I added a whole bunch more blank pages. So I know Martin uses it. I see him carrying it around, writing notes and stuff. So, and then our top downloaded marketing book, this book, Promote Your Small Business Online Today to Survive, was written by myself and Martin. Martin deserves most of the credit. I think he wrote the majority of the content, but that's the first edition. If you want it, you can download it free. Go to our website, askmarketingexperts.now.site, and you can get it for free. Right now, we're working on the second edition, and we're going to make a entirely new book cover and all that. So watch out for that one. So how I did it, easy peasy. You can either pay a lot of money or you can pay little money and kind of do it yourself. If you wanna publish the book on your own, you can do everything on your own. If not, you do what we did and hire assistants, and they'll be able to help you and all that. They can't write the book, you have to write it, but they can help format it and submit it on the Kindle Direct Publishing platform. And then there you have it. Okay, so here's some EMM, Expert Media Matters, Lucky 7 tips. The topic today, write a book, give it away, make $150,000. Okay. So here's the general tips. Decide on a topic, make an outline, fill in the blanks, write every day, your one chapter book, self-publish, just do it. And I use orange because we're getting like close to Halloween, yeah. So I wanted to use that color. But you might be asking, yeah, you know what? You talked for like half an hour. Um, you gave us some good tips, but what does this make $150,000? Is that just something you threw in, um, just to get a good headline, and you don't have anything to talk really about it? So let me explain. I think the next slide. Okay, let me go back to. Okay, so here's a $150,000 explanation. My book, Beat the Curve, when it came out, I only wrote one chapter in it, right? So the chapter I wrote was pertaining to my business, construction management, and the title was Why Hire a Construction Manager? Okay, so what I did was I took the front cover and the back cover of the book, and I made a booklet out of it with only my chapter inside. So I had, 500 of these booklets. And when I would go to meet clients, potential clients, or Martin and I are running our booth at our building trade show, we're passing these booklets out. Okay, and so by virtue of the book, I it's a booklet, but it's part of a book, so I call it a book. So using this, only this one, I was able to market and get $80,000 worth of contracts. Okay, and then several years later, I ended up writing a chapter in the book with Larry King called The Big Question, and I did the same thing. I made the booklets, but I ordered 300 paperback books. Yeah, they were not cheap, but here's how I made $150,000 from that book. Okay, so although I made these booklets out of it, I actually had my paperback, and I would go to condo board meetings, and they're interviewing. So usually they have three construction managers that they're interviewing. And so I'm one of the three, right? And what do these other guys do, my competitors? They go in to meet and they pass out their, here's an example. One passed out their business cards and they talked about what they do, okay? Number two candidate, he goes in and he passes out his business cards and his brochures, okay? Color brochure and all that, right? And that's how you're supposed to do it, okay? So I go in, and there's like 9 board members. I go in, and instead of passing out my business card, I'm giving each one of them a paperback book. And they're like, oh, what is this? And I said, oh, this is a book I wrote. And the chapter in that book was how safe is your building? And the work I do as a construction manager, I help buildings, I help condo associations and office building owners. I go in there and help fix their building. The roof leaks, they got concrete cracking, painting they need, waterproofing, plumbing, electrical. I go in and help manage all that, hiring the contractor and inspecting the work and all that. So I'm at the board meeting, passing out, not my business card, I'm using this book as a business card, right? And then it's impressive. They're like, oh, you wrote a book? Yeah, that's impressive enough, right? But then they see Larry King. Wow, you wrote a book with Larry King? How do you know Larry King? So anyway, the discussion is like, one board member goes, if this guy wrote a book, he must know what he's talking about, right? And another one goes, well, none of the other guys wrote a book, so we know this this Luke guy is an expert, because otherwise he wouldn't have a book written. And to top it off, it's a bestseller. So it's like people must be interested enough to buy the book and make it a bestseller. So the bottom line is, the board's like, if this guy wrote a book, he must know, what he's talking about. I don't even want to consider the other guys. I want to hire this guy because he wrote a book and he's an expert. So that's what happened. So the book actually helped me get $150,000 worth of contracts, okay, using the book. Now, I didn't sell any of these books. I never sold one of these books, right? People were giving me $20 when I give them a book. They're like, no, I didn't publish the book. I didn't write it to sell the book and make money. I wrote it to help promote my business. The other thing is that I use the same publisher, Celebrity Press, and we signed a contract with them. And the contract says that we understand and are not accepting any proceeds from the book. Okay? The book is all the proceeds from the sales of the book is all donated to charity, some charitable causes. So up front, we already know that the reason we're doing this book is to not make money selling the book. Of course, if I wanted to, I could order 500 copies and sell it on my own and keep the cash. But that's not the agreement that I made with the publisher. So the interesting thing is that I've never sold one book. I never got money for any of these 2 books, but yet I made a bunch of money using the book for promotion. And that's the whole gist of this webinar that I'm talking to you about. So it's pretty cool, right? I never sold any of the Rail book. I just did it, for PR. And, it's a novelty. It's fun. People laugh and talk about it. Promote your small business online to survive. I don't know if Martin sold any of these books. We could. If you want to, by the way, if you want to buy any of these books, you're welcome to. Just go to Amazon. It's there. But why buy it? You can get it free. So we didn't write this book to sell it and make money. We wrote it to help people. And that's what we do. But you're welcome to buy it if you want. So that's my story. And that's how I made $150,000. Now, the $150,000 is from one book. I made $80,000 from the other book. Remember, I didn't sell any of it. I just used the book to market my services. So let's talk about what you miss. If you missed previous webinars, we talked about websites, marketing, how to become a celebrity. We also talked about branding, and we gave a whole bunch of webinars on marketing and social media marketing. You can go to our website and watch those on demand. So you can select which ones you want to watch and just, watch it at your leisure. You don't need a Netflix account or anything like that. And it's free. Okay? It might not be free for too long because we might start monetizing it to, earn lunch money, but you can do that. So that's what you missed. And then what's upcoming, what's coming up. Next month we have, and we're going to be talking about how to give away stuff free to promote your business. So you might say, geez, I'm hardly making any money, and now you want me to give away free stuff. But here's the thing. Some of it may not cost you a lot of money to give away free, because did you know if you give free information, that counts too? And what's free information? Free information could be the books that I talked to you about. You can take one chapter. You can just write one chapter, write one article, give it away free. That's valuable, right? You can spend a few bucks in buying pens with your company name and logo. That's what a lot of people do, but that's what I'm going to be talking about, okay? you got questions, I got answers. So now's the time to shoot your questions over. And by the way, phone number is 422-2132. My work email is lanceluke@hawaiibuildingexpert.com. I should have used a different email for our marketing, but that's okay. So I'm going to, oh, by the way, stick around because we have a bonus on lead generation after this. So I'm going to, let me see, hold on a second. Okay, so lead generation, we have a website, leadmania.now.site, and we'll be talking about leads after we take the Q&A. So let me go back up to the Q&A and, oh, I didn't include, the website is askmarketingexperts.now.site. So I'm going to turn it over to Martin, see if any questions came in on our Zoom platform or Facebook, and let me stop the screen share. Martin, are you around?
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. I don't see you.
Oh, you don't see me. No, you don't want to see me.
Okay.
Not right now. Yeah, I just want to make sure I get all the questions here off of our viewers here. But we do have a few questions. So let me hit you with the first one. It says, if I want to do a collaboration book or compilation book, I think you said, how do I go about finding other like-minded business owners who want to do the same thing? Good question.
Okay, so how I did it was I got approached by a company that is a media company, and they create shows, or they produce shows, they create books, they publish books, they actually also create movies, and they do all kinds of things. But anyway, this company approached me. Well, actually, I saw an ad I was on an airplane and reading Fortune magazine, and I saw an ad that says, you want to, be a best-selling author or whatever. And I contacted them, and they sent me some information, and they told me how they do it. You write one chapter, and then they compile chapters from other business owners into this business book. So that's how I started. You could do the same thing, or you can contact other people to see if they're interested, other small business owners. I mean, we're looking at doing similar things, so you can contact us, and we can kind of put people together too. So that's one way. And then, if you're whatever service you're in, let's say you're a restaurant owner and you want to write one chapter, you're not going to contact other restaurant owners, or you could, depends, but normally you don't want competition, so you would contact other people who are in different industries. So that's one way to do it. But if you get stuck, contact us and we can put you in the right direction.
Very good, Lance. Thank you. The next question that's come here is, I started writing years ago, and all I have to show so far is a bunch of paragraphs that are not consistent with any chapter or a particular topic. What is my next step?
Your next step would be see if you can add more paragraphs, or see if you can take one paragraph and assign it a chapter title. Okay, and if each paragraph is kind of different, then they're for different chapters, and you can go from there. So you have like a kind of like a jigsaw puzzle right now, or portions of the jigsaw, and you gotta put more pieces together. Okay, so that's the whole idea. You gotta kind of do more and add more to it and keep thinking about it. And maybe those aren't good enough, and maybe you got to write some more, but do that. Just the more you do on anything, the more effort you spend, eventually you'll get there. There's what's called a writer's block, and a lot of people have it, and you just got to find ways to overcome it. And a lot of times the writer's block, you just don't feel like writing, you don't feel like anything, because nothing is coming to you, nothing is coming through your mind, and you're not thinking about what you're trying to do. So there's ways to overcome that. Sometimes if you take a short vacation, you'll be able to do more. I do a lot of writing when I'm on vacation too, and the better vacations, the more I can write. Believe it or not, I do a lot of business when I'm on vacation, although, I mean, that's the downtime when nothing's happening. It's like I got 1 hour between now and before our dinner reservation. Then, I start writing some notes down and something. So you can do that too, but good.
Okay, Lance, thank you. Guess the other thing is just trying to get the interest back to spark some more activity. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, let's see, what's the next one we have here? Oh, here we go. How are you self-publishing for free? And does the free part apply for ebooks as well as hard and soft cover books?
Okay, if you want to do everything yourself, then on the ebook, it's free. You use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform, and once you enter your manuscript in and create the format of the ebook, and of course, you would want to have a nice looking cover. But if you're able to design the cover on your own, that's fine. Otherwise, you get somebody to do it for you, graphic artists, or you hire somebody online, and you put it into the platform, and then it's completed and it's free. Amazon doesn't charge you. Okay, if you're doing a paperback book or a hardcover book or something tangible where they have to print it and send it to you, then of course you're paying for the actual books. Okay, so the ebook is free. The paperback or hardcover is not free. One thing I like about the ebook is when you finish and you have a PDF, you can email it to anybody you want. You can email it to 10 people, 20 people, 2,000 people, and that's free too, right? Unless you use a paid email service. But if you do it yourself, it's free. With the paperback books, it actually cost me because people requested it, and I had to put it in these mailers and go to the post office, and almost every day I was spending my time and money mailing these books out. So it actually cost me money to print the book and then send it out, mail it out. But in the long run, it came back. It was a worthwhile investment for me. The other thing is that it just name recognition and promotion. Okay, so even if you're not getting money back from it, it's actually helping you with your brand and promotion and marketing and that kind of thing. So keep doing it, or try it out.
Okay, Lance, thank you. Next up, we have here, the publisher that I'm working with charges about $12,000. Does that sound about right?
Okay, so if you're working with a publisher, I've gotten quotes from 6,000 to 20,000 and up to publish your own book. If you're, and I've seen others where it's 3,500 or something like that. So, I mean, there's varied prices, and there's also different things that they would do, right? So some of the lower end, they help you with your book. They help get it published, but they may not do any marketing. They just tell you, here's our list of what you should be doing and how to market your own book. So you really gotta scrutinize these contracts with a fine tooth comb as far as what they're actually going to do for you. If you want to go all out and pay some big money, where you write one chapter and they're going to publish it in a compilation business book, and hopefully it's a best-selling author, then that's one way you can do it. If you want to do everything yourself, you can, and save a lot of money, but then you're not going to get the benefits of marketing. It's like you get what you pay for. So if you're going to pay for somebody to help edit, do marketing, or create the book cover and all that, that's another thing. So it's kind of like a smorgasbord of, you get a menu of what you want and how much they're going to do for what the price they're charging. But just don't just sign up with the first person. Really scrutinize. And the $12,000 for a book is in that price range. The also, if you're writing a chapter in a compilation book, the 12,000 is within the range, because I've seen between 12 and 20,000. I've even seen offers, you pay 20,000 and they help you write your autobiography. And I thought that was a good idea, but then, for Martin and I, we can basically do it for free, or at, the least amount of costs. So it's for people that don't have the connections, maybe, or I think autobiography is the person doesn't know how to write or doesn't want to write, and someone will interview them to create the autobiography. Heck, if someone paid me $20,000, Martin and I will interview them and write a book. So anything's possible. What other questions we got?
Let's see. Let's get a couple more here. I am having trouble deciding on a topic and making an outline. What tips can you share?
Oh, just make a list. Write down on a memo pad of just statements or ideas that you have. Just no matter how crazy it is, just start writing anything, and just keep doing that. And you don't have to write complete sentences. Just write a few words here and there. Words or phrases of what you wanna say, and what you want people to know. If you still get stuck, have somebody interview you, a friend, family member, co-worker, and here's the questions. The questions would be, tell me about your business. What do you like about your business? What things set yourself apart from another person who's doing the same thing or in the same industry? Just start, and then once you start talking, and then record it, and then use the notes from that as more information. And so it's not like you having to sit down by yourself and think. It's other people asking you questions, like maybe a news report. If a news reporter were to ask you questions, you're going to have to think and give some kind of resemblance of good answers, right? So you use that information. If you get stuck, absolutely stuck, let us know, and we can kind of guide you the right way. What else we got?
Okay, Lance, yeah, get one more here. I see it's, I have writer's block. Do you have any suggestion besides running around the block? And must be somebody who knows you.
Run around the block again, or just decide you don't want to write, and you're going to do something else. But writer's block, and I have that too. It's a situation that comes up, but if you give it time, things will change. Like, for instance, I wrote this song, and it wasn't finished. And 10 years later, and it's like I had this block about it. 10 years later, I actually finished the rest of the song. It took me 10 years. That's kind of a long time. And I don't know what it was. It was like, you have to be in the moment to actually experience and be in a situation to be able to continue writing. So it happens to a lot of people. So maybe just forget about it for a while and think about something else. And I've had people come to me and say, you know, I had this writer's block of this book that I was writing, and I just kind of decided to throw it away and not worry about it. And they started writing a different book. And they realized that the writer's block they had was because that wasn't the right book for them to write. So it could be, or it could be you're just stuck on the title of the book. Don't get stuck on the title, change the title, have like 5 different titles for the book, and don't decide on it yet. Wait until your book is almost completed, then go back and revisit the title and say to yourself, does this title actually match what I'm saying in the whole book? If it doesn't, then it's not cohesive. You want to be able to have a title that kind of matches every single chapter. So if I'm reading the book, chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 20, I can always go back and say, hey, this chapter relates to the title of the book, right? If you're so far off, it's just gonna confuse the readers. And maybe you may have been confused in the beginning. So, all right, what else we got?
Oh, looks like we're good here. Lance, we're good.
Okay, can you stop the recording? And I'm going to share another PowerPoint.
Okay, let me stop the recording for
We're
you.
gonna still be live on Facebook.
Right.
Let me see if this works.